Hi students, let us learn the stereochemistry of biphenyls. See, in biphenyls, there are two benzene rings which is linked at the para position. Now, when you look at the chirality of the biphenyls, we should make sure that each of the benzene ring, that is the auto substitution on each of the benzene ring, should be different. So only when the auto substituents on each of the benzene ring is different, only then the molecule exhibits chirality. Now you can see here when you look at the benzene on the left side, you can see there is X and Y. So X and Y, these are two substituents. And when you look at the right side also on the benzene ring, it is again there are two different substituents X and Y. So hence you can say that there will be chirality in the molecule. Now biphenyls is considered to be a planar molecule. But what happens due to the high substituents and the bulky substituents on the two benzene rings at the auto position, there is going to be steric hindrance within the substituent. So as a result of which, one of the benzene rings adapts a perpendicular direction to the other benzene ring. That is, these two are no more planar, whereas the one which you are seeing wedged, right? That this wedge part, this is going to be at a level higher than the other benzene. That is, you can say that they both are perpendicular to each other. Now, as a result of which, these biphenyls, they exhibit isomers which is known as atrop isomers. So this is due to the presence of the bulky substituents at the ortho substitutions of the two phenyl groups, at the two benzene rings. Now the conditions for the biphenyls, as I already told us, all the ortho substituents should be different. There is ortho substituents on one benzene should be different, and again the ortho substituents on the other benzene should be different. And the second is, the substitution must be bulky groups. Only when the substitution is bulky, only then there can be the chirality in the biphenyls. And the third one is the substituents must be different. As I already told, X is not equal to Y. The two substituents must be different, but though they can have a same substituents on the opposite direction. That is, you can say that if suppose you have COOH in Y, there can also be COOH in Y position with respect to other benzene, or there can be COOH in the opposite direction. So that is possible. But on the same ring, they should not be having the same substituents. Now let us take some examples. Now here, you can see that this molecule, example 1, is chiral, because you can see that all the substituents, ortho substituent on one benzene is different. There's amine and hydroxyl group, and on this adjacent benzene, there is hydroxyl group and the acid group. So this shows that this molecule is chiral molecule. So whenever a molecule is represented as chiral, it is optically active. So chirality means, what does that mean? There is asymmetry in the molecule. That means there are no elements of symmetry, either plane of symmetry or center of symmetry or point of symmetry. All these elements of symmetry are absent, means a chiral molecule is always asymmetric. So since it is asymmetric, that is, when you try to draw a mirror image on this, or if you try to bisect the molecule in this way, in none of the way they are symmetric. So hence it is a chiral molecule. Now when you take the example 2, if suppose you place a mirror, that is a plane of symmetry, in between the molecule, the two phenyl groups, then what happens is, you can see that they are mirror image. They are nothing but they have a plane of symmetry, right? So this means that this molecule is a chiral. There's no chirality in this molecule. Achiral molecules are always symmetric and they are optically inactive. Now when you look at the third example, here again it is optically inactive. There is in this example, if you see, it is optically active. It is chiral molecule, because here there is a hydrogen. Okay, so hence it is optically active. Now, when you look at this last example, here you can see that when you place a mirror in between, so what happens is this molecule again there is no elements of symmetry, because these nitro groups are on the opposite sides and the carboxylic acids are all on the opposite ortho positions of the benzene rings. So hence what happens is there are no elements of symmetry. None of the elements of symmetry are present, and it is asymmetric, and hence it is chiral molecule. Now next, let us determine the RS configuration of biphenyls compounds. See, first is whenever you are given a biphenyl compound, then usually one of the ring is always a wedge, means because it is not in a planar, so hence it has to be wedged. Okay, so make sure that your molecule has one of the benzene ring as a wedge. So now what you have to do is first you rotate the molecule onto your right side. Okay, once you rotate the molecule onto your right side, you can write the expression. Once you rotate the molecule to the right side, you are going to get you'll be writing the molecule in this format. That is, see, once you rotate the molecule to the right, the acyl group is on your right side, acid is on your left side. Similarly, acyl group is on your right side and acid is on the left side. So this is how the structure will be once you rotate the biphenyls. Now after rotation, what you have to do is you have to write down the plus marks, because you have to assign the RS configuration. Now whatever groups is on the wedge, that is here you have the carboxylic acid which is on the wedge, always takes the position upper position. Okay, so on the wedge, whatever is there, whatever substituent is there towards the wedge, you write it up. And whatever is there on the right side, that is, there's no wedge, it is a planar, COCl, you write that down. Now this is one part is over, writing the structures, that is writing the functional groups. Now coming to the upper phenyl group. So now here what happens is you write down the functional groups as it is. Now the carboxylic acid is on the left side, so you write down the carboxylic acid on the left side, and the acyl group is on the right side, you'll write down it on the right side. So once you finish writing the function groups, now let us start assigning. See, whenever you assign the functional group, you only have to write down, that is with respect to the lines, you should write down the numbering. See, now here, if among the acid and acyl groups takes the first position, that is has the highest priority. Next comes the acid group, that's you're writing it as 1 and 2. Now when you take the function groups on the horizontal line, then we know that again acyl group takes up the third position and acid group takes up the fourth position. Now you're written down 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see how the numbering is done. That is, you're moving the right side, so hence it is the R configuration. So this is how you can assign the RS configuration for biphenyls. Always make sure that whatever is on the wedge will always be in the upper part on the vertical line. Whatever is on the right side, this not wedge, will be in the, that is taking the bottom position on the vertical line, and the remaining you're going to write down as it is, that is on the horizontal line, you will write down as it is. And then you're going to assign the numbering will be based on the priority. It is the common based on the CIP rule, it's on the priority basis. So you're going to assign, first you start assigning the vertical columns 1, 2, and then you go ahead with the horizontal columns. Now let's take one more example. So as I already told, just rotate the molecule. So once you rotate the molecule, what happens is you are going to get, see here one more important aspect is, see, we are going to always take the numbering, or you're going to assign the RS configuration on only function groups which are ortho to each other. Okay, so this acid and amide, and here you have the carbonyl compound and the hydrogen. So all these are ortho position. Now since if suppose there is an iodine on the meta position, don't by mistake don't write down iodine in the to assign the RS configuration. It is going to be completely wrong. So always make sure, if suppose there is no function group, then first write on it as hydrogen and then start assigning. Okay. Now let us start. First you are going to rotate the molecule to the right side. Then what happens is you can see that the wedge is nothing but the function group on the wedge is your carbonyl. So that you're going to write on top, and hydrogen takes up the bottom position on the vertical line. And once you rotate it, right, your carboxylic acid stays on the right, and here also numbering also stays on the right, and amide is on the left, so you're writing the amide on the left side. Now let us do the numbering. Now first always you're going to start the numbering on the vertical line. So first carbonyl gets the first position, hydrogen gets the second position, third position is always given to the acid, and then comes the amide. So this is how you're going to assign. See, when you assign the numbering, make sure that for biphenyls, always start with the vertical line and then go with the horizontal. Always start with the vertical, then go with the horizontal. Then you're going to get a correct configuration. You'll be able to write on the correct configuration. Now, if you see, it is 1, 4, 2, 3. So you are going to move from left to right, because you have to go through 1, 2, 3. So it's not the opposite. So hence it attains the S configuration. Let's take two more examples. Now here again you have, so now in this example you can see the wedge is being given on both the phenyl groups. So you can see the wedge on both the phenyl groups. So hence this is an advantage for you because you can do the numbering whichever way you want. Okay, so that is either you can rotate the molecule to the left or you can rotate the molecule to the right. It is fine because there is wedge on either end. So now let us do the usual method of nomenclature, configuration, assigning the configuration. First, rotate the molecule to the right side. Now, once you rotate the molecule to your right side, the wedge is having the carboxylic acid, so that goes on the top, and your acyl group is on the bottom, right? And when you're rotated, what happens is your carboxylic acid, when you rotate it to the right, okay, carboxylic acid stays to your right, which is here, and your acyl group stays to your left, which is here. Now let us write the numbering. So always start with the vertical line. Acyl gets position 1, then comes carboxylic acid, then you have the acyl group, and then you have the carboxylic acid. Okay, now it is 1, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and hence it attains the S configuration. Okay, let us take one more example. So now in this example, you can see that the ortho positions here is having a same functional group, that is acid. But we can also see that on the meta positions, you have the bromine and iodine. Okay, so what we are going to do in this example, it is an exception because here once you have to assign the RS configuration. Okay, so it is, you cannot mention that it is doesn't have a configuration because it is having a same functional group. So what you can do is, advantage here is, since you have a bromine and an iodine, you can make use of bromine and iodine and include it in the RS configuration, and you can determine the configuration. Now we'll just do that example. Now as usual, first rotate the molecule to your right. Once you rotate the molecule to your right, you can see that the thionyl group is going to get the position 1, and the thiourea, that group is going to get number 1, and you have the CH2Cl in the position 2. And once you rotate it to your right, you are going to consider the bromine and iodine and not the carboxylic acid because they are the same functional groups. So bromine is on the right, remains on the right, and iodine is on the left, remains on the left. Now you start assigning. So sulfur gets the highest priority. The amide, that is the urea group, gets the highest priority. So 1, and then it comes the acyl chloride 2. And we know that iodine is having a higher atomic number 3, and then comes bromine 4. So now you've written down the numbering. So it is 1, 2. So it is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so it is 1, 2, 3, 4. So hence it is nothing but the R configuration. It is R configuration. Okay. So this ends the stereochemistry and assigning RS configuration for biphenyls.